Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for your willingness to be here and your stamina. Really appreciate you coming back to deal with us. So one of the reasons I wanted to be on this committee was because I'm from Ohio. We're the heart of it all. We talk about all of the transportation networks and infrastructure that exists that's failing like many other communities, and the ability to oversee the bipartisan infrastructure law and how it can be impacting not only Northeast Ohio, where I represent the entire state of Ohio, but really the country. You can get anywhere within a matter of hours from Ohio, and it's very important in our networks. And whether I'm thinking of the high-level bridge that connects Akron to Cuyahoga Falls, the East Tuscaroras project in Canton, all of these are really critical projects. And I know the folks in Ohio's 13th district are yearning for an opportunity to share with you, Mr. Secretary, all of the exciting opportunities that you can fund and you can support through your position. And whether it's talking to operating engineers and local labor, we do hope to see you in Ohio in the near future. But I won't totally put you on the hook for answering a question in the affirmative, but I can feel like you want to be there. I want to talk specifically about something that you mentioned in your opening comments, rail safety. And I appreciate your acknowledging and trying to call to attention this very important issue and some commitments from my colleagues here. I get questions about the administration and whether or not the response was active, was appropriate or not. And my response is always, I'm a member of Congress and I'm concerned about our congressional response to rail safety. And so far, it has been shameful and quite frankly disrespectful to the people of Northeast Ohio and those who live in East Palestine. There is a bill that is pending in this committee right now, a bipartisan bill being led by the member who represents East Palestine that has not had a hearing. We have been refused a hearing, from my understanding, and not only is it making people question the administration, it's making people question Congress and whether or not, in fact, there are people who are willing to support and fight for them. And as you have acknowledged and recognized train derailments across this country, none, fortunately, not as detrimental and impactful as East Palestine, but with the potential to do so. I know you supported the Rail Safety Act in the Senate. There's just one more vote there, but it seems like as much criticism that has been based on the administration, Congress certainly, and the leadership here in Congress deserves quite a bit of that blame. So if you could talk about what you would like to see in terms of rail safety. I know we're all supporters of the two-person crew. I know we're looking for new hazmat and materials, but what else can we be doing? What should we be doing as members of Congress in order to protect those across this country from rail accidents like in East Palestine?
Well, thank you for the question, and I want to applaud your attention and your focus and your very real work on the issue of railway safety. We are determined to continue doing everything that we can with existing authorities as an administration, and we have focused inspections, safety advisories, both on the hazardous material side and on the Federal Rail Administration side, pushing the railroad industry to join the confidential close call reporting system, and a number of other actions that are within our purview. But we need help from Congress, and some of the measures you're describing would make a big difference. If we had, for example, a higher statutory minimum for civil penalties against railroads that are caught in safety violations, that would make a big difference. Right now, there are caps created by Congress on the order of about $200,000 for even egregious fatal violations. And there are so many cases where a derailment, whether fatal or not, whether it has hazardous material release or not, could have been prevented. And I believe more teeth in our enforcement, made possible through a change in the minimum fines, would make a difference. We believe the minimum crew staffing is important. We would welcome Congress establishing that, but we're not waiting for Congress. We're going to continue the work on the rule that was frozen in the past administration to establish the principle that at least two people need to be on a train, especially as they get to be 2 or 3 or more miles long. I think rail safety R&D would be welcome. Make sure we have more funding for the development of safer tank cars, continue to develop the technology around wayside defect detectors and other technologies that could make a difference. And we want to make sure that those tank cars are adopted more quickly, the safer, stronger tank cars. are adopted more quickly than the timeline that they're currently on. Those are just some examples of what we believe partnership from Congress would go a long way toward accelerating. And again, welcome and appreciate your bipartisan work on getting something done.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, you're back.